Okay, recording's in progress. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Charini Nivasisha Shunyavari Pashtatara Satarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gauravandavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, who can tell us what chapter we're on?
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Just asking,
Krishna Mother.
which chapter are we on?
10, aren't we? 10.
Correct. Yeah.
10.
If no one answered that question, I was going to ask, which book are we reading?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
We're reading
Okay, sorry.
Bhagavad Gita as it is. All right. So we began chapter 10 last week, I think. We did the first two verses. So we're on we're on text 3 now. So leading in from get this right, from text 2 to text 3, Krishna is going to explain the results of understanding him properly. Yeah, there's many misconceptions about Krishna, many misunderstandings, many confusions. Yeah, but only the devotees actually know clearly.
Okay, so how does that connect to the heart?
Krishna. The last verse was describing that even the devas, even the demigods, these are great personalities compared to us. They have a great high level of intelligence. Even the great sages, they do not know him completely because he is their very source. So in this verse, we're going to hear the results of understanding him properly. But there's an improper way to understand Krishna, and there's a proper way to understand Krishna. Yeah. And and the results that come from that. Someone needs to mute. Let me go muting. 1 second. Mute. Go Gita again. She has a very lively household. Hare Krishna. All right, without further ado, let's share the Bhagavad Gita on the screen here. And I prepared before, so here we are. Hare Krishna. So Nitai Mata has a hand raised for reading before she cuts out.
Yes, so.
Krishna. Yes, so it's a bit of a lengthy, not so lengthy. It's a few paragraphs in this purple. What did devotees prefer? Should we stop at each paragraph and just have a look if there's anything we want to discuss there and go on to the next paragraph? Or you prefer to go through all the whole purple? Sometimes I'm not sure what to do.
Stopping is good, Prabhu, because you have good ideas.
Sorry?
Maybe halfway.
Halfway.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's have a go at stopping at each paragraph. That's kind of,
Okay.
so we'll go halfway with that. And there's anything we want to highlight, any questions or clarifications on each paragraph? Because sometimes, as we mentioned before, when they're longer purples, then by the time we get to the end, we may not be completely familiar with what was spoken of in the beginning. So, all right, so 1, 2, 3, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yoma majam anadim cha veti loka maheswaram asamudasa mutisho sarva papa pramuchate. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the Supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only, undeluded among men, is freed from all sins. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As stated in the 7th chapter, 7.3, Manusyanam sastresu kachidyate siddhaye those who are trying to elevate themselves to the platform of spiritual realization are not ordinary men. They are superior to millions and millions of ordinary men who have no knowledge of spiritual realization. But out of those actually trying to understand their spiritual situation, one who can come to the understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the proprietor of everything, the unborn, is the most successful spiritually realized person. In that stage, only when one has fully understood Krishna's supreme position can one be free completely from all sinful reactions.
All right, well, let's pause there. Prabhupada is going to expand on this point further on in the purport here. But devotees, we know this verse that's quoted. Someone can know the whole Sanskrit of it. It's 7.3. It's a more common verse that's quoted. Manusyanam. That's it. Kaskit yatati sidaye.
Not all.
Sidamam kaschimam beti tatvataha. I think that's, yeah. How many thousand? Sometimes this verse is, devotees read it and can feel a bit uninspired. Oh, what about me? There's out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor perfection, and of all those who achieve perfection, hardly one know me in truth. All right. Yes. So testing your verses here, your knowledge of the Bhagavad here. It says Krishna is the proprietor of everything. There's a verse also, a well-known verse in the Gita, where Krishna states this. End of chapter 5. Bhaktaram yakatapeshu. I forgot the. Bhaktaram yakatapeshu. Okay. Let's have a look. Go on.
Oh no, not all.
Sabalokameshwaram suridam sababhutanam kanatmam mam santimrichati. The one who knows me as the supreme proprietor, the owner, controller of all planets. And what else? Okay, now I have to go find this verse to complete it.
Uttaram jana tapasam yagna sapasam sarvalokam maheswaram sadasham sarvabhutanam jantva mam santim prachati.
Yeah, you can understand the meaning by looking at the Sanskrit. It's quite self-explanatory.
Yeah.
The person who full conscious of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and of all austerities, yagna and tapa. Yeah, and the supreme of all planets. Sava means all, Loka means planets, and the supreme Lord means Maheshwaram. And this same word is used here. You see, he says Vati Veti Loka Maheshwaraham. Same is used here. Sava Loka Maheshwaram. Yeah, he's the supreme Lord of all planets and demigods. And Suridam, we all know what Suridam means. Suridam. Surit means he's the friend. Yeah, he's the friend. It's mentioned here as the benefactor. He's the well-wisher of all living entities. Yeah, Suritam. Sava Bhutanam. So Sava means all, and Bhutanam means the Bhutas. That's not the ghosts. That's you and that's us. We're the living entities. Ganatvarmam Santim. Shantim means. You're muted, Chandravali.
Relieved.
Shanti. Shanti. Yeah. Means peace. So that person is free from, attains peace, is free from material stress and anxiety. So this is what happens when we understand Krishna. through loving devotion. We become free from material anxiety. And that will be explained more. Yeah, free from all sinful reactions. Okay.
Prabhu,
Yes.
can we be free from spiritual anxiety also? When you understand Lord is the person, he is the one anyway, arranges everything.
What do you mean by spiritual anxiety?
If you want to do something for the Lord and it doesn't happen,
No,
and then
I say
it
go
should
on.
be
Sorry.
always there. It should not. It should be always there, or can we leave it like that also? Oh, anyway, maybe Lord is wanting something else.
No. Is Mother Yasoda ever free of anxiety for her?
Yeah, they always had it. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
anxiety
Hmm.
changes. It's kind of a sign of life. Well, because the nature of the anxiety changes once one is a devotee. Hopefully, the actual reasons why we're in anxiety may change. We kind of, once we understand Sambandha, Abhidheya, and Prayojan, we understand the basics of these principles. Then we just transfer the anxiety. One of the anxieties is to achieve Krishna's grace and mercy, which is always with a devotee. And then you got the perfected devotees. Madhya Soda, she's every time Krishna comes out, she's in stress. What's going to happen? My darling Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
The gopis as well, they're in stress that Krishna's got beautiful, soft feet. It's so soft that when he treads on the path, his feet are going to be pricked by the pebbles. So better he puts his feet on their chest. Yeah, so anxiety is part of life. And we will have to manage it on the material platform. You know, there's no getting away from it in the material world. You just have to manage it on the material platform, but then on the perfected platform, there is divine anxiety. Sorry about that.
No, I remember that, Prabhu. But then again, I thought, although we have, it's just like Mother he has the anxiety. He was so anxious to bind the Lord, but unless Lord decides, she couldn't do it. So similarly, we may have 101 spiritual anxieties, but if Lord doesn't want it, it won't happen. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I understand. So that gives, so at some point we can fall back on that and be a little bit detached that, we should do our best for Krishna. But at the end of the day, it's Krishna's grace.
Yeah.
I came across, let me see if I can get there without coming out the screen. Yeah, 1 second. I found a quote in that regard. I saved one quote and I read it again the other day. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Oh, yeah. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 37. The highest achievement of perfect civilization is to work with valor, but at the same time depend completely on the Lord. To work with full enthusiasm, but to be completely dependent upon the Lord. So in that sense, we can be a little bit free of feverish mentality.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Anything else? Yeah. Sorry.
I was thinking on that point that's, okay, you might desire to do something for the Lord and it doesn't happen, or you're in anxiety because it's not happening. But it depends on yourself. Is it really you want it for the Lord? Do you really want to satisfy your sense? I made this, I did this, So also, that is in there as well.
Yeah, there's many different factors. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the specific situation. Yeah.
You can't just sit back and just say, oh, maybe the Lord didn't want it.
No.
But maybe Lord's teaching you a lesson, do you really want it to do for me? Or is it because you want to, like that?
I understand, yes.
A bigger picture in there,
Yeah. That's why such times it might be good to, if you're a bit confused of whether to let go or not,
Yes.
then you might want to speak to devotees and get some, and seek their advice. You know. All right.
Because
Yeah.
everything we do or think, we really have to think in a bigger picture before we endeavor anything, you know.
Yeah, it might be an over endeavor for us, or it might be an under endeavor.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
yeah.
Sometimes Lord wants you to hanker. Not sometimes, all the time.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah. So sometimes it may be a bit difficult, may make things a bit difficult, just so that you can pray more intently and you
Yeah.
can think of him more. So things may not be easily come by.
Mm.
Many different.
Mm.
Quite unique how the Lord deals and interacts with his devotees, not just the perfected devotees, but the sadhakas as well.
Sadhakas.
It's very unique to everyone. It's very personal. It's very unique, the actual experience devotees are having in relationship to Krishna. It's very, every devotee's relationship with Krishna is very unique. So what they go through is often very unique. There, let's read on a bit.
Okay.
Second
Can I
paragraph.
Prabhu?
Yeah. Yes, continue.
Okay. Here the Lord is described by the word Aja, meaning unborn, but he is distinct from the living entities who are described in the second chapter as Aja. The Lord is different from the living entities who are taking birth and dying due to material attachment. The conditioned souls are changing their bodies, but his body is not changeable. Even when he comes to this world, he comes as a same unborn. Therefore, in the fourth chapter, it is said that the Lord, by his internal potency, is not under the inferior material energy, but is always in the superior energy. Can I continue, Prabhu? Next paragraph.
Okay, just do the second paragraph as well.
Okay.
Third paragraph. Unless there's anything from here from anyone, let's just couldn't help resist that. Aja. That means he's different from anybody else.
Yeah.
He's different, obviously. He's different from Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is great, and he lives, compared to us, he lives a fantastic lifespan, as is Lord Shiva. But he's not Aja. Yeah? Lord Brahma was manifest from the lotus that came from the navel of the Lord. So there was a time he was not Lord Brahma. There was a time when he is Lord Brahma, and there was a time when he will not be Lord Brahma. So he's distinct, not just amongst he's distinct even amongst even the greatest of the gods, so to speak. So he's Aja. Only he is Aja. Yeah. The Lord is different from all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few commentaries on this from our acharyas, but they're quite long. You might just, yeah, so let's just read them. All right, you can read the next paragraph.
In this verse, the words Vithi Loka Maheswaram indicate that one should know that Lord Krishna is the supreme proprietor of the planetary systems of the universe. He was existing before the creation, and he is different from all his creation. All the demigods were created within this material world, but as far as Krishna is concerned, it is said that he is not created. Therefore, Krishna is different even from the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva. And because he is the creator of Brahma, Shiva, and all the other demigods, he is the supreme person of all planets.
Yeah, so this is Ajam in the verse means unborn, and Anadim means he is without beginning. Okay, go.
Actually, this para, if somebody reads, it's very easy to understand who is Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, well,
It's
yeah,
such easy to understand. It's saying very clearly.
yeah, it's very clear for those who are devoted to Krishna. But for those who are not devoted, it may not be so clear. Yeah. It describes, and I think it's quoted a little bit later, the first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, even the great demigods are bewildered by Krishna. But we're hearing from someone who is a devotee of Krishna, so it's becoming very clear to us. Prabhupada has realized this. He is situated in this absolute realization of Krishna. So he's telling us, and also it all seems so obvious and so easy to understand. Yeah, because we're hearing from a devotee. Otherwise, there's many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, and if you look at the commentaries and the explanation that they may give for this third verse of chapter 10, you're going to see a lot of differences of opinion and confusions and misunderstandings. But we're blessed to hear from someone who is Krishna conscious. That's called parampara, yeah? So therefore, it seems, what's the big deal? Yeah, here it is. Prabhupada says it's like this. Okay, no problem. We accept.
And also, Prabhu, there's just a way para bhaktir. If you say Lord and I think that can connect here with Srila Prabhupada, isn't it? He is our eminent spiritual master, like Shiksha Guru.
Yeah,
He's the one who started everything.
Yeah, he's a Shiksha Guru for international
So
society.
if you have faith, it will be revealed to us, isn't it, Prabhu?
Yeah, that's the good point. If we have faith in what's being said, and therefore we give our lives to service of Krishna, then we will become free from sinful activities. And these things may be revealed to us directly. Krishna may reveal this aspect of his greatness to us. It may be a direct communion with us. Otherwise, we accept it on faith. We accept it on the basis of faith. And from that, we serve Krishna. And then Krishna may enlighten us with these fantastic realizations. That Krishna is the governor of all the planetary systems and all the parts and parcels of him. And he is the greatest. I think there's that verse. I think it's coming up in the 10th. It's called the Chatur Sloka is coming in this 10th chapter as well. Aham Shravasha Pabhavo Matasavam Bhavatate Iti Matva Bhajanti Mam Buddha Bhav Samandvitaha. So someone who knows that everything material and spiritual is coming from Krishna, then they worship Krishna with feeling, with bhava, with deep sincerity and feeling, because they know everything is coming from him, and that's quite an overwhelming, far out realization. But we accept it on the principle of faith that the Guru is saying, so we accept. Even if we may not have, we may not have had a personal conversation with Krishna where he's revealing all of this, yeah, or we may not have had divine insight into all the planets and Krishna's overseeing them all. But still, we accept from Guru. Yeah, so if someone asks us, then we can confidently say, yeah, Krishna is different from even a great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva. Do you know that? Yes, I do. Why do you know that? Because my Guru told me. Have you seen it? No. So how do you know? Because my Guru told me, and he has seen.
Yeah.
He has seen the truth. That's there in 4th chapter. So therefore, I accept his words. Call me a fool if you want. but I accept his words as the absolute truth. Yeah, that's called disciple.
Mm.
Yeah. Any other? Let's see who's with us today. We have a small little crowd today. How do you get a small crowd? It's a crowd. Hare Krishna. Over two is a crowd.
Mhm.
Hare Krishna. All right, you can continue, Mother. Sri Krishna is there.
Sri Krishna is therefore different from everything that is created, and anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reactions. One must be liberated from all sinful activities to be in the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. Only by devotional service can he be known, and not by any other means, as stated in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, so this is we hear this often. So we have to be somewhat pure in heart. We have to be free.
Mm.
Well, free from the binds. We have to be free from sinful reactions. So the more we can surrender, the more we become free, then the more our heart, then the more we have the qualification to actually understand. Okay. So you can read the next couple of paragraphs.
Yeah, one should not try to understand Krishna as a human being. As stated previously, only a foolish person thinks him to be a human being. This is again expressed here in a different way. A man who is not foolish, who is intelligent enough to understand the constitutional position of the Godhead, is always free from all sinful reactions. If Krishna is known as the son of Devaki, then how can he be unborn? That is also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. When he appeared before Devaki and Vasudeva, he was not born as an ordinary child. He appeared in his original form, and then he transformed himself into an ordinary child.
Yeah.
Anything done? Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look. See what's here in Orijan mentions. So he's given an example of, okay, you say Krishna is unborn, but wait a minute, he took birth from Devaki.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore he is born. So he expands on this about he appears to take birth as the son of Vasudeva and act as the darling son of Yasoda. In Damodar Leela, Yasoda Mai tied together length after length of rope, but no amount of rope was sufficient to circumscribe his unlimited waist, and the rope always remained 2 inches too short. Yet inconceivably, the Lord's waist at that time was already encircled by a black thread bell, which had previously been tied by Yasoda to attract good fortune to her son.
Mm.
So that's his little rope that mothers put on their young children. Is I think it has it's supposed to keep away
Evil.
evil spirit or the evil eye. They have this thing in village where the evil eye or may disturb the mind or possess the child. So they tie this belt, this black belt.
Yeah.
Mother so easily tied her darling son with, but when it came to the Damodar leader, no amount of rope could tie him. So he can be bound and he can be unbound. He is born and he is not born. He's born and he's not born. He's bound and he's not bound. Mm.
Mm.
All right, yeah. Go on. Any questions or comments? Go on.
Anything done under the direction of Krishna is transcendental. It cannot be contaminated by material reactions, which may be auspicious or inauspicious. The conception that there are things auspicious and inauspicious in the material world is more or less a mental concoction because there is nothing auspicious in the material world. Everything is inauspicious because the very material nature is inauspicious. We simply imagine it to be auspicious. Real auspiciousness depends on activities in Krishna consciousness in full devotion and service. Therefore, if we at all want our activities to be auspicious, then we should work under the directions of the Supreme Lord. Such directions are given in authoritative scriptures such as Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, or from a bona fide spiritual master, because the spiritual master is the representative of the Supreme. No, sorry, I missed the place, Prabhu. Bona fide spiritual master, because the spiritual master is the representative of the Supreme Lord. His direction is directly the direction of the Supreme Lord. The spiritual master, saintly persons, and scriptures direct in the same way. There is no contradiction in these three sources. All actions done under such direction are free from the reactions of pious and impious activities of this material world. The transcendental attitude of the devotee is the performance of activities is actually that of renunciation, and this is called sannyasa, as stated in the first verse of the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. One who acts as a matter of duty because he has been ordered to do so by the Supreme Lord, and who does not seek shelter in the fruits of his activities. Anasuta karma phalam is a true enunciate. Anyone acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord is actually a sannyasi and a yogi, and not the man who has simply taken the dress of the sannyasi or a pseudo yogi.
Okay. Thank you. Any comments, observations, questions here?
Talking about Guru Sadhu Sastra.
Yeah, it comes up here. Yeah. Again, we were just mentioning that the spiritual master representative of the Supreme Lord.
Yes.
The Guru, yeah, so it's directly God, Krishna is directly speaking to us through the agency of the spiritual master, through the divine medium of the spiritual master, and we should have that faith. Yeah, even though we may not understand sometimes the instructions given by the Guru, but best to follow. We can ask if something's not clear, we may ask, Guru Maharaj, you have asked me to do this, but I'm thinking like this, and I have this doubt. I mean, that may be there. So there's room to for clarification, but the general principle, yeah, because it's the Supreme Lord, yeah, saying, you know, yeah, Guru Tattva. So yeah, so and here mentions, I think we spoke about this recently as well. It seems to be familiar, unless I spoke in another setting, but everything is inauspicious in this world. There is nothing is auspicious. The only thing that's auspicious
is devotional service.
Is devotional service. Yeah. Sometimes I remember we reflecting some time back that just appreciating, you know, sometimes it may seem quite ordinary. Someone's on the way to the temple. But it's very auspicious. Even that train, everything that person is doing is very auspicious. Even they may go to a flower shop and they're buying flowers for Krishna. Yeah, and they buy flowers and they bring them to Krishna, and they give them to Krishna. It's very auspicious. Whereas everything else going on is inauspicious. You know, the whole shopping street. Everyone's shopping for themselves, isn't it? It's all kind of gross material activity. Even it may be sattvic or whatever it may be, but it's all material. None of it is based on Krishna's seva. So it's all inauspicious. And there are some good things that happen in this world. I think we mentioned this before, isn't it? There's auspicious things that happen, we could say. What's an auspicious thing that happens in this world from a material point of view? What's good things? What's the type of good things that happen, which kind of people talk about?
Birth of children.
Yeah, I mentioned that before, huh? The birth of children. But then it
Good parents,
Yeah.
good parents,
good
yeah,
education,
good
beauty.
beauty,
Money, money, money.
What is that?
Money,
Money.
Money,
money,
yeah.
money.
If you get an inheritance of £1 million, wow, that's pretty auspicious.
Diamonds.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Money anyway is good because even in Krishna consciousness, you can practice your Krishna consciousness freely and to do anything. So money, it's okay. But Prabhupada mentioned that for Sattvic people is the most difficult to come to Krishna consciousness because they
Yeah,
think
they
that
think it's quite set. They think
Yeah.
nothing. They think
Yeah.
there's no problems in life. But
Yeah.
let's just look at these. Okay, but going back just to material perspective, what seems to be good. So, say if someone on material perspective, now putting aside devotees, say someone comes into again, they come into an inheritance.
Philanthropy.
They come into an
Philanthropy.
inheritance of £1 million, but say if they're not devotees, is that auspicious or inauspicious?
For him, it may be inauspicious because
It
in
may
the long
be,
run,
yeah. Go on, sorry, I interrupted you.
We were just reading the other day in one purport that everything in the material world is inauspicious.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we just read here. Perhaps it's this purple. Prabhupada
No,
said,
like in the last couple of weeks, maybe.
oh, it's somewhere else. Yeah, that's why the conversation is familiar. Yeah, so that £1 million will, if someone is a materialist, then they're going to spend that money not for Krishna, they're going to spend that money on becoming further implicated in the material world. So actually, from an absolute perspective, okay, if we could say it's inauspicious. It's
Yeah.
inauspicious. Yeah, people in, like, for instance, someone, there may be different persons vying to become president or the prime minister. So one persons who are backing them may consider, if they get voted in, it to be very auspicious. Why? Because it means they get an office in a White House, or they get a certain place they haven't had. Anyway, you get the idea. But then those who the other party then, but actually it's, anyway, the point was saying everything except Krishna consciousness actually is inauspicious in this world. Yeah. So even a devotee doing a simple thing, even coming to the temple, that may be the only auspicious thing going on that train. The train is packed with, say, 1,000 people. There's one person, there's one humble soul who's got a bunch of roses, and they're heading towards 10 Soho Street. They're going to put it on the altar.
Just getting a human,
Yeah, go
just
on.
getting a human body is auspicious. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's used in Krishna consciousness, it's auspicious. But if it's not, then one can become entangled in the modes of material nature, and they misuse the human form of life. The human form of life is a responsibility. And if you don't use it properly, then there's reactions for that. So again, inauspicious.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada says it's no better than an animal body if you're not following all principles.
Yeah, Dvija Pasu, it's quite strong words. It means you're a two-legged animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so Prabhupada says it. Let's read again. If everything is the concept that there are things auspicious and inauspicious in the material world is more or less a mental concoction, because there is nothing auspicious in the material world. Everything is inauspicious. I just remember now. Prabhupada said, what's the best side of a stool? Is the dry side or the wet side?
Mm. Stone is a stone anyway.
It's stool, whether it's the dry side or the underside.
Too.
It's all stool. Yeah. So there are things auspicious and inauspicious in the material world. It's more or less a mental concoction because there's nothing auspicious in the material world. Everything is inauspicious because the very nature is inauspicious. We simply imagine it to be auspicious. Yeah, I mean, I kind of share a little realization I had many years ago. I was on book distribution and I was on Carnaby Street and it was packed with people and I couldn't stop anyone. I couldn't give a book to anyone. I was feeling very demoralized. And there was all these charity workers around, and they were stopping people and people were signing up. And there's me trying to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books and I wasn't stopping anyone. I was feeling very, very uninspired and trying to find some inspiration. Then suddenly I got the realization that actually everything going on that street is completely mundane.
Mm.
And the only thing really going on that street was this tiny jiva, me, trying to give out these books.
Wow.
And it was quite, I can remember I was a little bit overwhelmed, but not completely, but it was very clear for me that I was the only one doing anything on that Carnaby Street. And then I got inspired and I started distributing book. And then I stopped one person and I gave him a book and he, like that. So then this person extending the story, what makes me remember this is that about 6 years later, this person came to me in a temple room and he said, "Thank you so much. Thank you so." I didn't know, what do you mean? Thank you so much. What have I done? And he said, "A few years ago, I was on Carnaby Street and you stopped me. And you had such a serious look on your face that I had to stop." So I was thinking about what I seemed to be perceiving. And I stopped that. But anyway, eventually he took up devotional service, Hare Krishna. So anyway, speaking about my own things too much, but yeah, so only Krishna conscious activities is auspicious. Yeah, everything else is inauspicious. No matter who gets voted in, who gets voted out, no matter what happens in the world, whether Ukraine win, whether Russia or whatever, Palestine, everything. The only noteworthy thing is devotional service. Everything else is just inauspicious. All right, I think we've, as they say, don't know if it's the right way to describe it, thrashed that one out a bit. Hare Krishna Madhu Mango, Prabhu. Wow. Can you hear us?
Hare Krishna, I was waiting on the wrong door.
Oh, sorry, you got the wrong link.
Yes, I was waiting at the wrong door. So I was waiting and waiting. It says the host has begin the class.
Oh.
So I waited, and in the end, luckily I wrote to Gayatri Mataji, "Can you let me in, please?" And then she said there is a different link, 137 at the end. So I logged in.
Yeah,
and then.
sorry about that. Sorry about I guess you might have sent me a message, but I didn't have my phone on hand. Anyway, better
That's okay.
late than never, as they say.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That's probably my fault. Very sorry about that. Hare Krishna. Okay, so anything else from here? Before we might move on to the next two verses. It's 6:45. We have nice time left.
Oh, that purport is the most longest purport. It's
What,
3 pages.
Really? Let me have a look. Oh, look at that. Krishna. All right, we might have to, let's see how we go. Now, the connection then, let's try and see the connection between this verse, text 3 and text 4 and 5. So Krishna is going to describe how the qualities possessed by living entities come from him. Everything is coming from him. And there was another, let me read this as well. This verse described a bit differently. No, perhaps Ramanujacharya describes it in a different way. But anyway, let's go from here. So someone like to read through this? Okay. Who's that? Go ahead. Yeah.
Let me put the light on. I haven't run away. I'm still here. Okay.
4, 5. Yeah.
Yeah, text 4 and 5. Buddhirgyanam asammoha shama satyam dama sama sukham dukham bhava bhavo bhayam chayam evacha ahimsa samatha tushtis tapodanam yasho yasha bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva pritha vidya. Translate by Srila Prabhupada. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. Purport.
Okay. So, yeah. All right.
That different qualities of living entity, be they good or bad, are all created by Krishna, and they are described here. Intelligence refers to the power of analyze things in their proper perspective, and knowledge refers to understanding what is spirit and what is matter. Ordinary knowledge obtained by a university education pertains only to matter, and it is not accepted here as knowledge. Knowledge means knowing the distinction between spirit and matter. In modern education, there is no knowledge about spirit. They are simply taking care of material elements and bodily needs. Therefore, academic knowledge is not complete.
Okay, let's just...
Yeah.
Now, what about this sentence here? Or specifically this here. The different qualities of living beings, be they good or bad, are all created by Krishna. So that means Krishna is to blame. So Adolf Hitler had bad qualities. He was very envious, he was many things. He was deluded. And he, for example, but it was created by Krishna.
Yeah, but anyway, we are envious. That's why we are here.
Sorry?
Anyway, we all are envious. That's why we are here. So that person must be having little extra.
All right, so we're all envious, and that's why here in the material world.
Yeah.
But the envy, is created by Krishna, so it's not our fault.
Yeah. But
no, but we wanted that. We envy. It's not he created. We want to be the Ishvara, no? Enjoyer. That's why that quality has to be given.
Yeah, go on, Chandravali, you had a point on this?
yeah, I was thinking like everyone has different desires, like different desires.
Yeah.
Krishna is created. He says, I've created this material world where you can go and enjoy yourself. So it's according to what we desire. If we want to be envious of somebody, Krishna has created it there. So it's up to us whether we want to be envious, pride, ego, or want to not have all these qualities, which we came here to have all these qualities. We are envious, pride, ego, everything. And now because we're realizing Krishna conscious, we're trying to get rid of these qualities to get the proper qualities.
Yeah. Anybody else on this? Different qualities of living entities, be they good or bad, are all created by Krishna, and they are described here. So I think what we're saying is, I think Krishna, this is mentioned in verses in Gita, that Krishna is not to be held accountable. I think Mother Chandravali and both Nitai Mata have hinted at this. They're not to be held accountable according to their use of independence. Krishna is not held accountable. So how one chooses to use this independence, there is a concomitant reaction that comes from that. But the responsibility of that is with the specific jiva. For example, for becoming full of bad qualities, that's due to association with the lower modes of nature, ignorance and passion. So very much just like when it rains, the rain will fall on the beautiful smelling rose. The same rain will also fall upon a weed or poison ivy. Yeah, so very much depends on the actual seed. So how we move in this world is down to our, free will.
But what's happening with the? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, say again.
So what's happening with, let's say, with the demoniac people, rakshasas, and all that? Even if they're devotees, can they purify, change, and elevate themselves, or born in a different family? I mean, I know the story with Prahlad Maharaj, but still, I'm kind of questioning a little bit this.
You're correct. Say again. You said that even
what's happening when they are rakshasas and they are devotees? Is
I
that
mean,
possible?
you're saying what's happening if they're born in Rakshasa families,
Yeah,
but
yes.
not themselves are Rakshasas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, that's the arrangement of Krishna to do away, as we know, eventually actually do away with that great demon, Hiranyakashipu. It was arranged that the great saintly Prahlad be born as his son. And there's a story behind that as well. So this is the arrangement of the Lord for the maintenance of the universal creation. For instance, a great demon like Hiranyakashipu, he becomes empowered, he's lording it over the whole of the material universes. So something has to be done. So therefore, that's the wonderful Leela and pastime, where a great saint appears in the family of Daityas. But he is not a Daitya at heart, although in his humility, Prahlad will see himself like that. But actually, he's a great devotee, as the pastime then unfolds, and we can actually see. Yeah, Haridas Thakur wasn't born in a Vaishnava family. Prabhupada was born in a Vaishnava family. Haridas Thakur wasn't,
You can see from your own example, Murli Prabhu, you can see from your example. I mean, what your parents were like. You often tell about your childhood pastimes.
Do I often tell?
Well, what he was doing, and to come to Krishna consciousness, be a brahmachari,
Yeah, and it's not just me. Many devotees come to.
I can tell you a Patri Prabhu that we met at the retreat.
Yeah.
His mom Ukrainian, dad Russian, and he had to go to military, done all the military training and everything. Then when he became Krishna conscious, the parents kicked him out. Like, just go. It's disgraceful for you to walk around with French robes, sheets.
Really?
Yeah, the way he was telling all the story. And then somehow look at what he's done for Srila Prabhupada, So
he changed Nepal.
Born in demoniac families, and but to see what I saw in there, he was giving a beautiful lecture, joking, maybe you fall off the chair, the laughter he was causing. I was looking at how we think that I do dressing, cooking, this, that, and I do this, and I'm really do 4 times a day, 10 times a day, or whatever, a week. Look at these souls everywhere. If you look around, there are great souls that Krishna has put everywhere for Srila Prabhupada. In Nepal and in Bangladesh. And you know, these which we don't even know of these souls. So they're born from demoniac families, and
But divine purposes.
yeah, and
Yeah, yeah, that's a good. I was thinking of that actually. Yeah, that's a really good point you're bringing out, Mother. I'm trying to. Yeah, we see examples now. You know, devotees born in inauspicious countries, in inauspicious circumstances, in not devotee families. Yeah,
All
like
Srila Prabhupada disciples.
yeah, my family were definitely not devotees. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Some or another.
people like
Yeah.
us, we had good families, and so it's okay like that. But there are devotees out there who are really
Mm.
so,
Yeah.
and what they're giving to Krishna conscious
Yeah.
is amazing. That's why I was looking. I wasn't looking at his joking way of giving a class, but just amazing. And his mother came to Nepal eventually because she had cancer.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah,
Okay.
treatment the Nepalese gave her, red
Mm.
carpet, garlands, and
No,
she turned to her son and said, "Who are you?" She was so confused at her son, the way she was treated.
yeah.
And they arranged for a helicopter to take her to Vrindavan because she only had 2
Really?
days. Yeah.
Oh my God. So she left the world in Vrindavan.
Yeah, but this is all because the son has done so much that Krishna
Mm.
arranged for his family,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, and he took her to all the holy places in a couple of days and she left her body there. But it's just amazing. And we can turn around, and these are like demoniac family he was born in. But
Yeah. So there's a wonderful answer to your question, Madhu Mangopu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So devotee, what was the conclusion? So devotees are maybe born in inauspicious places, but for divine purpose.
just one thing
Yeah.
he told us to do in the class that I took it. He says, when he had this idea, he met Pankaj Jangari and Jananivas, and he was like, okay, I'm going to be, they said, get a second initiation, and then we can put you in the pujari. So
Mhm.
his mind was 327, you know, Artis 327, 327. So when he went to pick up his Guru Maharaj from the airport to come to my airport,
This was in Mayapur. He would have, so he'd do so he had those slots doing that service every day.
he didn't get it. He hasn't had it yet. He thought, right, I'm going to pick up my Maharaj and I'm going to ask him for second initiation.
Oh,
And
okay.
on the way to Mayapur, he says, this is a good chance because once you get to Mayapur, all the devotees are going to be there. And
Yeah.
he
he
wanted
would
to look
have
in.
to speak to him.
Right, so in the car, he asked his Guru Maharaj, please, can I have second initiation? Maharaj won't answer. He asked him so many times, Maharaj won't answer. Then Maharaj eventually said, yes, you can have second initiation, but I want you to go to Bangladesh. And then, you know, like that. And there his mind was 327, do artis and do pujari work. And that was, he was happy with that. But he taught us something was that don't say no to your spiritual master because you don't know what the bigger plan he's got.
Mm.
He really is doing so
So
well.
he went as a pujari, not with a mind of becoming a priest.
No, he went to preach, not as a
Oh,
pujari.
he went to preach. Okay, understand.
He went for pujari, preach, you know. But just learning so much lessons from these kind of devotees, I thought was not just seeing him great devotee, yes, he's doing this, that. No, just to learn from his life and the way he spoke.
Baba Jintraval, is it Banu Swami?
No, it's
No,
Patri-
Patri Prabhu.
Patri Prabhu. He's
Patri.
doing a
Ah,
class
thank you.
tomorrow. Listen to his class.
Oh, okay, thank you.
He's giving class here tomorrow.
And if you can meet him, please take the dust off his lotus feet.
Oh,
I
thank you
went
so
to
much.
him. There's a video that Kumari Priya put on I was talking to him and I was begging him to just put his hand on my head.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
What disciple he is?
He's disciple of
He's from United States. What is I can't remember his.
his disciple. He was sannyasi, but now he's vanaprastha.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know. So I did.
Mm.
He's a
Um,
Vanaprastha.
He's actually English, and he was preaching with Mahavishnu Swami. I can't forget his name now. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't like, I was taking things from the lecture, you know, for me to learn, you know.
Hmm.
So,
Great, thank you for that. So you got just see, Mother Mongo, you got a wonderful, deep explanation from your query. It's set very
Thank
nice.
you, thank you, thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna. That's
Hare
for
Krishna.
you,
Hare
for
Krishna.
not being able to
Hare
come in
Krishna.
tonight. Okay, thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. So let's.
Prabhu, I have a question very quickly when you finish recording. We yesterday.
Oh, 1 second. Well, let me finish recording then.
Sorry.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Jai, Hari Prabhu ki jai.
Prabhu ki jai.
Yeah, yeah.
How do I stop recording? Hare Krishna.